Welcome back to Coach's Corner, and as promised, the head coach of the Lady Cat softball team, Coach Daniel Wood, is our special guest. Coach Wood, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
The Lady Cat softball team, a lot of people use the phrase rebuilding year. You've got some incredible athletes. They're working hard, they're playing hard, and before we talk about specific games, and before we talk about regionals, which is this week, I want to ask you about some of your players because they're out there, they're bringing their all, and they're working hard and they're learning.
Every day.
Yeah, can you give some shout outs now? I know I put coaches on the spot all the time to do this, and a lot of coaches don't like doing it because they're going to leave somebody off
Yeah.
or out. But can you give us a few shout outs?
Yeah, sure. Libby Clark has kind of carried the brunt of the pitching for the year. She's done a really good job. Unfortunately, win loss percentage doesn't really reflect how well she's
Right.
thrown.
Right.
I think she's getting really close to 100 strikeouts on the year.
Wow.
And anytime you can have 100 strikeouts and only walk around 50 or 60 kids, that's a pretty good year.
Yeah.
But she's carried the majority of the innings. She's done a really good job. She keeps us in ball games. Kaylee Meyer, our shortstop, senior, is really she's kind of carried the offense for us. She's hitting the middle lineup all year long. She turns out good ABs almost every single time she steps to the plate. She's gonna be a tough out.
Yeah.
Cameron Suggs done a really good job for us behind the plate. We kind of want our catcher to be, quarterback.
Yeah.
Kind of run the defense for us, and she does a really excellent job. She's a good leader behind the plate, and catching is one of those things where you can do a lot of things right, and most people won't ever notice it.
Yeah.
So I think Libby has had a good year because Cameron will take some pitches that may be a ball. She's going to make them look like a strike.
Yeah.
So she does a really good job behind there for us.
Excellent, excellent. Well, the Lady Cat softball team just got back from a weekend in Missouri, big tournament, faced some different teams, played 4 games, and tell us about the team camaraderie on a trip like that. It really comes together, gives them an opportunity to get to know one another even more.
Yeah, we had a chance to stop on the way to Columbia. We stopped in Kansas City.
Nice.
Went 8 at Top Golf. Hit some golf balls for a couple hours, and no one fell into the little net, so
good.
that was automatically that was win number 1 for the weekend.
That's a bonus.
Yeah, they didn't have to call the fire department.
Right,
so,
right.
We ended up getting in, I think, probably around midnight, or
Wow.
close to midnight. So they were up until about 1 o'clock being goofy. And,
Yeah.
They had a good time with it.
Good, good.
We actually stayed in an Airbnb.
Did you really?
Yeah. So went away from the hotel route. That way they could be loud and goofy, and weren't having to worry about waking up
Right.
people next to them. Just
Right.
just waking up coaches. So
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah,
That's
it was
fun.
nice.
So Columbia, Missouri, the site of this big tournament in Missouri, and some pretty stiff competition.
Yeah,
You had some
really good.
big teams that made that tournament. Tell us, for your athletes, what that gives them in terms of experience.
Well, it's just seeing someone with a different name across their chest, which sometimes the name that's right there that can do a little something between their ears. When you're facing a Jinx or a Sand Springs or
Sure.
a Broken Arrow or some of these bigger schools, sometimes you're like, oh no,
You're right,
just because you know what they have. And,
Yeah.
go up to Missouri, we don't know these teams. We don't know them. So it's just kind of, let's just go out and let's play. Get a chance to play a game against the game. Not having to worry about who's in the other dugout.
Right.
So.
You lose 3 of those 4 games, but you did get a victory. And tell
Big
us
one.
about that
So-
victory. And it was a big victory. And what made it a big victory?
Well, I'll tell you, it was just one thing we always talk about is staying aggressive. We want the girls to play fast, be aggressive in everything we do. I think the first inning we had 4 outs on three outs. 3 outs on maybe 6 pitches,
Wow.
because they were getting good pitches to hit and they were jumping on them. And
Yeah.
every one of them was a hard line drive just right at people. And it's really easy offensively when you're hitting the ball hard and it's going right to someone. It's really easy to go and say, okay, I got to try something different. And they stuck with it. They kept doing it, and eventually we rattled off uh, 15 runs, I think, that game.
Wow.
You know, hit the ball
Wow.
extremely well. Margaret Blackstar, I think she had two triples and maybe a double, I believe, that game.
Wow.
You know, a couple others, some extra base hits. Ran the bases really hard, and I've been telling them, you know, if we can run the bases hard, we're going to win or lose ball games on the base
Yeah.
paths.
Yeah.
And we did an excellent job taking extra bases when we had the opportunity to. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like everything we've been talking about just
Right.
kind of clicks and
Right.
you know it starts rolling.
Yeah.
So you know it's nice to see that.
Tulsa Union, the site of regionals. Now, as you're watching this, regionals are over. What are the days for the regionals?
Tuesday and Wednesday.
So yeah, so as you're watching this broadcast right now, regionals have already happened, but we're going to talk about it as if it hasn't happened yet. So we don't have to spend too much time on this, but Tulsa Union, big school,
Yep.
hosting the regionals. What kind of teams are you going to see there?
Well, we'll have Jinx, a team that's in our district.
Yeah.
We've seen them twice already. Union, as you said, and Bartlesville.
Okay.
You know, Union and Jinx they're good every
Right.
year. You know, they're gonna come out and they're gonna play hard and you know good arms that we're gonna have to face and we're gonna have to beat good pitching.
Yeah.
Double
elimination.
Double elimination. Yes. Yeah. So we'll play at noon on Tuesday.
Okay.
We win that game, we'll play 6 o'clock, and we'll get the winner of Jinx and Bartlesville.
Okay.
And if we lose, I believe we play at 4. Same thing, a loser of Jinx and Bartlesville.
Oh, okay. Good
So
deal.
anytime you get into regional, it's kind of we always tell them like, listen, we're 3 wins away from the state tournament.
Yes.
So and right now everybody's 0-0. You know,
Right.
It's clean slate time.
It really starts over.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The opportunity is there for the Ponca City Lady Cat softball team at regionals, and we wish them the best. And we hope the next time that we're talking about state. Wouldn't that be amazing?
I'd be okay with that.
That would be great. Great. The future of Pohai softball. Last question. You see some of these younger players coming up. They're getting more experience. The future, and as a new coach, good question for you. I mean, it gives you something to look forward to. Let's talk about the future of Pohai softball.
I would say it's pretty bright.
Yeah.
I think we'll have a class of 16 8th graders coming up next year.
Wow.
Pretty big 7th grade class as well. And the good thing about the 7th grade class, there's 3 pitchers in that
Oh, wow.
7th grade class.
Okay. All right.
That'll be pretty stinking good.
All right. Good.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a fun couple years.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Daniel Wood, thank you for being here.
Thanks, sir.
It is Coach Daniel Wood, the head coach of the Ponca City Lady Cat softball team, and our thanks to Coach Scott Harmon earlier on this edition of Coach's Corner. And thank you for watching every week. That's going to do it for this edition of Coach's Corner. I'm Sean Anderson for Ponca City Public Schools. Until next time.